Welcome back to Africa 54. Now, cybercrime strikes an estimated 1.5 million people every day. That's about 18 victims every second. And experts say the people who commit these crimes are becoming more sophisticated. But you don't have to be another statistic. In his follow-up report on cybercrime, Mil Arcega tells us how businesses and individuals can minimize their risks.
Protecting organizations and individuals from data thieves is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and with good reason. Alan Edwards, the president of Whitehorse Technology Solutions, says anyone with access to the internet should be worried because cybercrime is no longer limited to your home, your office, or your bank.
You have your iPad you're carrying around, your iPhones, your Android tablets, your laptops. So much information walks out the door of the office.
For hackers, all that mobile data spells opportunity. Criminology professor David MAIMON says one way to reduce your risks is to be very careful about what you post on social networking sites.
The fact that you report everyone about your actions 24/7 is problematic, because if someone wants to victimize you, all he has to do is to look at your Facebook account.
A little common sense can pay dividends. Don't tweet when you're going on vacation if you don't want your home burglarized. If you bank by phone, don't store account numbers and passwords on it. Don't open emails or attachments from people you don't know. And if someone wants to give you something for free, Alan Edwards says be wary.
The first thing to think about is basic economics. If I am being given something for free, why?
But common sense is a poor substitute for good security. Activate your computer's firewall. Install reputable antivirus and anti-malware software. Use strong passwords, which means avoid using your name, your birthday, or personal information. Whitehorse Technology recommends starting with a phrase you're familiar with, then use the first letters of each word in the phrase to create your password. In this case, AFAHMASP. To make it stronger, add a special character, numbers, or both. Even then, good security measures can only do so much, says criminology student Ted Wilson.
Well, anything can be exploited. It's just a question of whether or not a hacker actually wants to take the time to overcome whatever type of security measures you have.
Consider a recent example involving the secretive government of Iran. Security expert Alan Edwards says hackers managed to infiltrate the country's top-secret nuclear program using the old USB flash drive trick.
It's very, very simple. If I drop a flash drive in a car park, the odds are someone's going to pick it up, and what they do first is look and see what's on it. So they take it into their business and they plug it in their computer. You've just bypassed all the external firewalls.
Hackers have many more tricks to steal your information. But, as with other crimes of opportunity, unless you're a high-value target, such as a bank, a government agency, or business, every security precaution you take adds a new layer of protection. Experts say that additional barrier may be all it takes for a cyber thief to move on to the next target. Mil Arcega, VOA News, Washington.
Well, joining me now is Mil Arcega with more on this intriguing crime wave and how we can protect our privacy. Welcome, Mil.
Thank you very much.
Now, the thing about this crime is that it's not localized. It's global.
It really is global, and I think you're going to start hearing a lot of pressure in the coming weeks from international bodies suggesting that we need to look at this problem globally, not just here in the United States, not just in China, not just in Africa. We need to establish some kind of international body that will actually prosecute and investigate some of these crimes.
Now, some people somewhere in Africa may say, well, am I in danger really? I'm just a small guy in a small town.
A lot of people say that. And here's the reason why a lot of people are paying attention to stories like this. Everybody has a cell phone nowadays. In fact, here's an interesting fact that I wasn't able to put in there. Mobile internet usage is growing 66% every year. Now, here's another interesting fact. By this year, the statistics suggest that there will be more internet-connected devices this year than there are humans.
And actually, so many Africans now, Africa almost leads in the use of mobile technology, and people are sending money there. They're storing their information on how they pay their bills to the utility companies and all of that.
And that really is a frightening aspect of mobile data usage. We're walking around with information that's flowing all over the airspace. And quite often, we're conducting our banking through our cell phones. And all it really takes is for somebody with the right technology to actually read what is being broadcast by your cell phone. There are many ways to protect yourself, of course, but probably the biggest thing you can do is just be aware that some of that information you're pushing out there into the ether is really quite private.
Now, would you say that some of these hackers necessarily are fishing out for specific information, or sometimes it's just a crime of opportunity?
Sure.
Yeah? That they just try out and things come up?
Well, look, there are legitimate targets, Vincent. If you're a government agency, obviously you run a greater risk that interested parties may want to know what you're doing. Banking is obviously a very big one. We all heard about the $45 million heist recently involving 2 Middle Eastern banks. That was done entirely online. There was nobody with a gun, nobody with, threatening anyone. It was all done over the internet.
Yes. So for anybody who has a gadget that has a connection to internet, you want to tell them that, consider that as a potential target.
It is a potential target. Everybody is now connected. This is a global internet information kind of age that we're moving into. In about 5 years' time, Cisco says mobile data traffic is going to be 3 times larger than internet land-based traffic, which means we are walking around potentially with ticking time bombs of information that anybody can just sort of pluck in the air. And if you make your passport very easy, for example, you run a greater risk of being exploited.
Briefly revisit that suggestion that there should be a global body to prosecute these cases. Where would this operate from?
Well, I suppose.
I mean, do you have special courts?
No, I've not heard all the proposals yet, but I suspect it will operate very similar to the way Interpol operates right now, because chances are you've received emails from Nigeria, from China, suggesting that, hey, we have some money, we just need your help. Please help us
your
out.
account.
Right. A lot of those crimes happen, all over the world, and if the victim is living somewhere in Kenya, and all of a sudden he loses $1 million or whatever the case may be, how do you prosecute that? And who do you arrest? And who is actually responsible for that? So I think that is one of the more practical, common sense solutions that is coming out of this discussion on cybercrime.
Well, let's hope they will get a hold on that
I hope so
particular
too.
body. Hey, Mil, thanks a lot for
Thank you
sharing
very
with us,
much.
and we look forward to more of your servings.